Hello and good evening. I think we are live. So, Gary, could you do us a favor and let us know that you can hear us and see us okay? Hi, Wendy. Can see you there as well. And there's Colin. Evening, Colin. Yeah, I can see on my iPad, I can see that we're up.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, cool. Coming through okay. Thank you, Gary. Appreciated. Good evening, everyone. Don't do this very often. In fact, this is perhaps the first time I've done a hangout with more than one other channel. I don't remember ever doing 3 before. So yeah, this will be cool. So I've got with me this evening Jeff and James. You all know them. They're my moderators. They're always working in the background. So I thought it'd be nice to have them on for a bit of a chat tonight instead of doing a build as we're getting to the festive season. So yeah, so we'll give it a few minutes, get some people up, and then we'll I don't know what we'll do. This is unscripted. we are just going with the
those rounds. Well, I'm not giving them. I'm not giving quality street any ad time in my stream.
Every time you put something in your mouth, I'll ask you a question. You know it. Definitely don't put a toffee penny in. Hi, John. Nice to see you. So how are you two anyway? How are things with you?
Doing good. Thanks. How are you, Jason?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. All good. Gearing up for Christmas. Nearly there. Did my Christmas food shop this morning. So that's it. Have nothing more to do other than actually cook it and wrap presents. And that's where I'm up to.
Sounds good. How are you doing, James?
I'm not dead.
You're not? Well, that's good to hear.
I'm not making my frequent visit to hospital.
Yes, that's good.
Touch wood. So, yeah.
Let's hope it continues in that direction.
Well, my heart's behaving now, so it works okay.
That's good.
So,
Cool.
my mum has been driving me up the wall doing the cards, Christmas cards. I'm a human spell checker.
Sounds good.
Well, keeping you busy.
Yeah.
So I agree with you there, Colin, that lots of people doing live chats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think people are finishing up with work and have got more time on their hands. But actually, for me, this is about spacing out some of my builds over the Christmas period a little bit. So putting this in just helps me out with not having to do so much editing, so I can get a bit more free time. So yeah, who else have we got? Martin. Hi, Martin. Captain Charlemagne. Good to see you, buddy. With names. Anyone got seasonal jokes? Absolutely. Put them in the chat.
I used to have a gal that I worked with years ago, and her first name was Christmas. Her last name, her last name was Snow.
Wow. That's like Dusty Hill from ZZ Top, isn't it?
Yeah, Dusty.
You got a last name. You got to find a first name that works with it.
Right.
I thought you were going to say a last name was Tree then for a minute.
Well,
but it's almost the same.
Sure.
Cool. So, question for everyone, and I guess we can all talk about this as well. I'm interested to know what people's highlight was 2023. Was it a kit release, or was it going somewhere like Telford, or what was the highlight of 2023 for everyone? So I'll give you guys in the chat time to write up your answers. What about you two? You got any highlights, things that you think was particularly cool this year?
I really enjoyed the group build we did with the GMC.
Yeah.
There wasn't that many of us involved in it, but it was for a good cause.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a good one.
Yeah. James, you?
Well, not dying was one.
Yeah.
Always a positive.
Yeah. It came close, but I'm still here. And I think getting this big bird here was a highlight, sadly. Didn't think at one point I didn't think I could get it because I couldn't afford it, because my money is very tight in it, unfortunately, because
Right.
I'm on benefits due to the fact I'm medically retired. I'm not old enough to get me pension, and so it was quite nice to get that.
Yeah, and it's a lovely kit, and we were just talking before we went live, and we agree it's quite possibly the kit of the year this year. So I think the highlight for me, and probably not a surprise to anyone, was the Go to Build. I thoroughly enjoyed building that. It's first time for a long time that every time I've sat down to do something on it, I absolutely look forward to it and enjoyed it. There's always some part in any build for me where I go, oh, I've got to do all these track links or whatever. There's always something that makes you feel like you want to do something else, but I didn't have that at all with the Go. So that was my absolute definite highlight. I love doing that. And I guess Telford was another highlight because I got to meet some subscribers, which was really, really nice, and get around the show. But definitely going to have to do both days next year just to be able to get around it with people wanting to have a chat, which is lovely. You can't do it justice. So let's see, who else have we got in the chat? I can see Dan there. Hi, Dan. And Jet Scale Models. Nice to see you.
That's Jason. Hi, Jason.
And James Fisher. Hi, James. So Telford was your highlight. That's it was a great show this year. It felt like the first time since the pandemic that it was back to normal. So really good.
Martin work. There's Captain Cuz. That's Vinny. Hi, Vinny. Good to see you. A few people that I recognize there.
Yeah, no Vinny. Oh, we have a joke.
It's okay. Yes. Getting a few there, huh?
Yeah.
I think I'm a bit behind in the chat, so I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. So if anything comes up, we can highlight that. So okay. So I think that was the highlight. What about from the point of view of model builds? What did you enjoy building the most this year? Because both of you have chucked out quite a number of kits this year on your channels. One way or another.
Well, not that many, really. I don't know. Did a few.
I think I lost count when when it gets to 20.
Yeah, I think I made a note because I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I've actually only finished about 7 or 8. And I've got 3 in the works right now.
It feels more, to be honest, Jeff. I mean, I finished 9 models this year, and I was pretty pleased with myself for getting 9 done, because that's quite a high count for me. Because I've always got a big project on which takes up half the time. So I was pretty pleased with 9.
That's very good.
But some of those were started
in
2022. So like the Tiger diorama, for example. So if you remember, as we came into this year, I had a number of builds that was just trying to clear the decks and finish off. So we might not get through 9 next year.
Well, that Scharnhorst is going to take a lot of your time.
Well, yeah, and because I only work on it every other week,
Mm-hmm.
I reckon it's at least 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we don't take a break, and I don't intend to, but you know, we'll have to see how Nigel goes as well, because there's always the risk, you know, with Jess and stuff, that he might need to take a break at some point.
Right.
So we'll have to see how that all pans out. But I probably will crack on and leave him to catch up, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, Nigel will get distracted with something, no doubt.
He'll start a Lancaster or something, huh?
Yeah.
Well, the main reason we're doing this as sort of a buddy build is to try and keep him going and keep him focused. And certainly he's very enthusiastic about it right now. So that's good.
Yeah.
But by his own admission, he's not the best at finishing. So we will see.
I've got a few sitting on the shelf myself. Can't talk too much.
I counted my shelf queens about a year ago, and it was more than I thought. It's double figures.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, the thing is, when you've got a channel, or at least this is how I feel, I don't know about you guys, you feel a little bit more obliged to finish what you started, because you know there's people watching.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of builds that I've not finished that started, and some that are parked, but most of them are finished. Whereas when it's just me and nobody knows or cares what I'm doing, it's quite easy to start the one that just got through the door, isn't it?
Yeah, you know? It is. Easy for you to say, "Oh, I want to get that brand new kit and get right into it."
Yeah, absolutely. I can see Craig there. Hi, Craig. Nice to see you.
There's Paul, Plastic Monkey.
Monkery's in.
Yeah.
Hi, Paul. Nice to see you. And Mark 6 of 1. Good evening to you. And who else we've said? Captain Cuz.
411 maintainer.
Hi, 411. Now, 411. Right, where are we? Not that one. That one. I've seen you on the channel a few times, but I don't know your name. So please put your name in the chat.
What's your name and where are you from?
Yeah. There you go. I won't remember it, but at least I'll remember it tonight.
Yeah.
I've got a terrible, terrible memory for that. I never forget a face, name, virtually never remember. I call my girls the wrong names all the time. Who else have we got? Mick Smallwood. Sorry?
Hi, David. 411 maintainer. His name is David.
Ah, got it. Brilliant. Thank you, David. That helps everybody out.
Calgary in Alberta in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Ah, okay.
Canadian.
Okay. We have quite a few people from Canada that subscribe to the channel. A lot of model builders in Canada, which is good.
It gets cold up there.
Yeah, they've got nothing to do when it gets cold.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're all covered in snow at the moment, aren't they? So, what's Craig saying? Let's see. Very nearly started his 124 Spitfire in January. Better job of it when I have more time. Yeah, you know what? That is such an important comment, because if you rush things, you always end up regretting it. You know, it's like you've got to be in the mood to do it. If you're not feeling it, don't do it, because you'll make a mess of it. Sometimes my modeling time is precious, and sometimes I'll get to a point where I go, you know what, today I've got 4 hours to do modeling and I just don't fancy it, and I don't do it, because I know I'll end up with glue on my fingers and go and model because I'm just not in the zone.
Sure. I try and do a little bit every day, even if it's just 10 minutes. I try and do something every day.
Yeah. I don't have that luxury, so I have certain times in the week that are designated. Doesn't always work out, but that's the plan. But and then of course videoing from the kitchen. You've got people coming in and out, and
I don't know how you do it.
Well, that's why you get music in the videos,
right?
As I'm trying out, someone making breakfast. So yeah.
Something that really surprised me was how you were able to get the Gotha built in the amount of space you have. I know that thing's huge.
Once you get the wings on it, it's pretty unwieldy. And the Scharnhorst is the same issue. But I think on video the desk looks smaller than it is. So the Scharnhorst overhangs my desk by about a foot. I have a side desk, so with the side desk up, it's within. And once it's in its build cradle, it'll be quite easy to move about. And when I'm not working on it, it can go on top of the shelves there, and the space. So we should be all right. I couldn't. I'm not sure I could do anything much bigger than that. I've got. I think. I can't remember if it's Yamato or Hood that's the longest of the 1/200s.
Yamato's it's the widest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know which one's. Yamato's pretty darn tall, also.
Yeah, I know the box is sodding heavy.
It is.
Well, put it this way: the box number 2 is heavy because it's got all the photo etch in it,
right?
All the brass in it.
Yeah, I remember watching Scale Modeling go through his. So just like the photo etch had never stopped, just one after another.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that at some point. It's a nice looking kit, but it's the usual trumpeter affair with the hull. They make a hull, and then you've got a choice on whether you use that hull or make it correct, because they're never right. They're never right. The Scharnhorst isn't bad from the deck up. There's a few minor alterations, but it is minor stuff. But the hull itself is a bit of a mess, as you will see. In the next week or so. We've got 2 Scharnhorst videos coming out in the next week.
Gone through your books, haven't you? Your reference and made a lot of notes.
Yeah, 20 hours worth of just marking up modifications, pretty much. So yeah, it's a lot of work, as you'll see. Okay, we've got some more people in the chat. So Jim, nice to see you, Jim, and Richard, Scale Model World, nice to see you, and I think that might be it. I've not missed anyone. Oh, Marley, hi Marley. Good to see you. A lot of you, I remember, have sent in pictures for the showcase. So in tomorrow's table talk, I'll give you the date for the showcase. That's already put together and waiting to go. Some really lovely models this year. So what about next year? What's people's plans for next year? So again, people in the chat, what are you looking forward to building next year? Have you got something planned or a new release that you're looking forward to? And I don't know of a lot of new releases after January. And what about you, James and Jeff? Any particular plans for next year?
Go ahead, James.
It might be a big ship, put it like that.
Oh, okay.
So, I'll have to tidy the workshop up first. So,
will that be a bit of a shock to the system after all the 148 stuff you've done this year? Because that seems to have been a bit of your focus this year, 148 stuff.
I've done them because they're quick.
Right. Okay.
Because obviously, I've got a system for building a piece of armor, a truck, or whatever. I've got a system for building them.
Yeah.
With a ship, you've got to do something that you can. It's a ship you can build a bit of it and then put it away.
Right.
Because I've done a ship before. I've done HCMS Snowberry, and that was 3 foot long. 3 foot long. And I used to work on that for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'd leave it alone for several months.
I remember you shared some pictures of it. It looked lovely. The old Matchbox kit, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, Revel. with lots of flash, lots of sync marks, and lots of.
I think it was Matchbox before it was Revell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember buying it as a kid, and it cost me 50 quid. And my dad was like, "Well, if you've spent that much on a model, you better make a decent job of it." And I spent ages on it.
Yeah.
So yeah. What about you, Jeff?
Well, I really want to try a 1/32 biplane.
Oh, okay.
That's something I want to get into. I do have one Winglet Wings kit, but I'm going to leave that alone for a while. I might try a Copper State.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. I've thought about the MiG Red Baron, the triplane. I don't know how good that one is. I've heard some stories that it's got a few issues, but
I think the main issue is the wing, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'd like to try that, do the rigging and all that kind of stuff. And I'd love to do I've already got a couple started, 1/350 ship, start to finish on the channel. So.
Yeah, ships can be a challenge because the big jobs, and inevitably
Sure.
you end up wanting to break off and do something else. That's why I think doing a week on it and then a week off it will help keep that going.
Right. But I've been wanting to build a ship start to finish for a while. I've seen 2 or 3 of them out there I'm kind of interested in. So
cool.
Might just have to pick one up.
I think your Copper State models would be a good way forward on your 132 aircraft.
That's what I'm thinking about.
The engineering's good and the fit will be good and your instructions will be good. So, that's a nice, easy shoe-in, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think they
thought
do.
about a Rodin, but I don't think I want to go that way.
No. Not a Rodin biplane. Scary.
That's certainly a challenging build. It'll be interesting to see you do it when you're ready.
Yeah. I'll be working on it. Hey Marley, how you doing? Marley watches mine all the time. Richard Thomas. I got quite a few showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marley's got a Rodin biplane and he's doing an amazing job at it. He sent me a couple of pictures. Looks really nice.
Cool. We've got 30 watching right now, guys. So that's great. So I think for me, next year, I've got a theme really for next year, and that's to do something different. So every time I come to do a new kit, I want it to be something different than I've done before. So one thing I'm definitely going to do next year is paint a figure. I've not done any figure painting on the channel before. I want to improve doing that. So I've got a red coat from 17 something or other, little metal figure that I'm going to paint. I've not done sci-fi on the channel, so I think we'll do something sci-fi, which may or may not be the Space 1999 Eagle. I've got a Thunderbird. It might be, but I've got a Thunderbirds one as well, and it's quite a big build, the Eagle. So I don't know. I've got to be in the mood for that one, I think. So that's definitely a couple of things I'm gonna do. I really want to build the Fairy Gannet because it's a beautiful model. And I've reviewed a lot of recent Airfix stuff and gone, yeah, this looks great. And then I haven't really built it. I think the newest one I built was the Ferret, wasn't it? Which was nice. So maybe doing an aircraft or the Gannet or something, maybe.
Need to do a motorcycle.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, Jeff, because I've been looking at motorcycles. But
me too.
The majority of them are modern, and that does not interest me at all. I want something from the 20s or at the latest the 30s. An old Norton or something like that.
Or a Vincent Black Shadow.
Yeah, those are nice.
First bike that did 100 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Production bike that did 100 mile an hour.
think I saw something a while back where Copper State Model. I'm not sure, but I think Copper State Model might be working on one. It would be like in the 20s, I think.
That would be interesting, depending on its scale. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I thought about something like a World War II BMW with the sidecar or something like that.
Yeah, and there's one or two of those knocking around, isn't there, in 1/9 scale and what have you? Is it Italy? I think do that.
Yeah.
Don't know how good they are, but yeah, just do something a little bit off the norm. You know, would be nice. But yeah, so maybe I've only ever built one motorcycle before in 45 years plus. So it'd be good to visit that.
I built quite a few.
Right. Okay.
I built a lot of real motorcycles, but never a model one.
I imagine there's not much difference, Jeff. Really.
It's just you gotta use smaller tools. That's all. You know.
Yeah.
They're heavier, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, slightly fewer.
You know, as you know, because virtually the only times I've fallen off a bike have been out the front, been out in the road, outside the house. Once when I was coming home from work, once when I was going to work, and
the wait till you got home to fall, huh?
Yeah, and I got stuck under the bike the second time because it was snowing.
Right, let's catch up with what's happening in the chat a little bit. So this Colin has said that he's going to give building a ship a go next year. So I take it, Colin, that you've not built one before. So good luck with that. Let us know in the chat what you're thinking of building, because I might know the kit. So that'd be interesting. What else have we got? Right, so Captain Charlemagne, whichever tall ship wins the poll on my channel. So if you've not visited Captain Charlemagne, please do so. He's got a poll running at the moment, so get your votes in and influence what he builds on his channel. That's cool. Marley, so you're going to do more wingnut wings? Yeah.
Yeah.
Copper State models do 1/48 scale World War I aircraft as well. I noticed.
Yeah, and they're just as good as the 132s, just as detailed.
Yeah.
I have one that I got this year, but I've not recorded the first impressions yet. I've had a look around it, but yeah. And I don't know whether it's by accident or they always do this, but it's got two sets of everything in the photo etch. So I don't know whether I just got double for some reason, or whether they always put two lots in. So if you damage one, you can use another. I don't know.
Give you two chances, huh?
Yeah, that's always good.
Yes. There was the mini art Chevrolet truck I built a while back that they included two grills on purpose. You know, in the photo etch where they were both on one sheet.
Yeah.
Just in case you messed one of them up. I've noticed since then they've redesigned the kit and they put in one photo etch and one injected molded one. You got your choice between the two.
And that makes sense because not everyone likes messing around with photo etch. It was like the ladders on the ship that we reviewed on Wednesday. You know, photo etch or plastic, make your choice. Now, I would never use plastic, but other people would never use the photo etch. So it's great to have that option. Whereas most of them now, you either have the plastic or the photo etch. So I thought that was nice. So the Airfix Cutty Sark, that's a fairly straightforward build. Hopefully Martin won't give you any trouble.
I just did some photo etch on the Scamel, the little boxes and things.
Oh, right, nice. Have you soldered that or?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, they don't give you an option, you know, so it has to be photo etch. But yeah, I did 3. I think there's 3 different little baskets and things that are all photo etched. They all turned out real well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Craig, on the Victory, just remind people in the chat: is that a wooden ship or a plastic one? There's lots of models of Victory.
It's a big wooden ship.
Yeah, I think so.
With a copper tiled hull.
Lovely. Started a road and biplane. We need to know how you get on with that, mate.
It looks nice.
Yeah. I've seen some built up, and Flying Circus does them from time to time, and they look brilliant when they're done. We don't always get the impression of how much wrestling they had to do with it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. How full the cuss jar is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the power of editing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like your Ferry Sea Fox. There's a lot of swearing with that. Trust me.
Yeah, well, when I got it, you were very adamant, James, that I should get straight into building it, and that made me think he knows something here.
It took me 3 attempts to build one.
Really? Well, maybe we should do that next year just for the fun of it, because that's a nice small kit. Should be nice and quick.
Yeah.
Right. Well, after he's built 3 of them, it should be quick, huh?
Yeah. No, well, the plastic was very brittle.
Oh.
And it's obviously it's like building the outriggers out for the pontoons. They're like, oh my god, it's an absolute night. It's an absolute pig.
Right. Okay.
With modern glues, it helps.
Right.
Okay. Feels like a nice challenge, that.
Yeah.
You've got me intrigued. So Richard, 124 truck kits. I've never built a sort of a modern truck kit. I've been tempted with some of the Rock Band ones that they've done, but I've never done a truck kit. I don't think so. That's an interesting thought. I quite often see the Tamiya radio control ones bombing around at shows and things, and they look quite cool.
We've got that one kit that we talked about doing a group build on too.
Yeah.
Have to get into that one of these days.
Yeah, we need to find a moment where we're sort of both aligned with ready to start something new.
Right.
Always. What I don't want to do is set a date and then go, right, okay, I've got too much on, or you've got too much on. So we need to plan that a little bit, I think. But
we'll figure it
out. So there we go. I'm assuming that's the biplane. So, hello, Hobby Time. Nice to see you. Seeing if there's anyone else put anything in there of interest. You mentioned a kit earlier in the year. Can't remember. Colin, who's that question to? T. Lawrence Brough Superior. I guess that's a motorbike, is it? Yeah. James, you know about those things.
Yes. Brough Superior is well known. Well, it's fairly well known as the older style motorbikes.
Right. Okay. Well, my great aunt in the 1920s rode a motorbike to work. She was a school teacher and became a headmistress, and she tried driving a car. This is before driving tests, and she drove it into the car porch that her dad had built. So a lean-to on the side of the house. The family were all builders, so he built this porch on the side of the house, this lean-to for her to park the car underneath, and she took the 2 supports out, and the whole thing collapsed on the car. And that was the only time she drove the car. The rest of the time, she was riding a motorbike, which in the 20s was a bit frowned upon for women. So I'd love to try and find out what bike that was and see if I can get a kit of that. That'd be cool. So what's this? That's what we've got. Yeah, I'm looking forward to starting at Seeking next week. Okay. Well, I've seen one or two of those go together, and it seems to be a really good build. If you want some interesting inspiration for the Seeking, go and check out. I'm going to forget his name now. The guy who did it as a chicken coop.
Oh,
Sully.
Yeah, that's right, Sully. That's right.
Yeah, I gave him the bloody idea, didn't I?
Yeah. Oh, did you?
I did it as a joke. I said, "Why don't you do it as a chicken coop, Sully?" Oh yeah, and he started looking at it.
And it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it saved him some time because he didn't have to put the rotors on.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Peter, Scale Modeling. He dropped in.
Hi, Peter. Nice to see you. I'm a little bit behind on the chat because I'm just seeing what people were talking about.
Right.
Yeah, they're saying that John Marley's saying that Peter Lawrence was T. Lawrence was killed on a Bruff Superior.
Right.
Oh, okay. Hello, Model Tank Guy. Nice to see you. And right, we have a question. Right, my email is easy to remember. It's modelkitstuff, all one word, @gmail.com. Easy as that. If you go onto the community page, I think it's there that you can open up the email. That's where most YouTube channels have their emails. I guess it's the same for you guys as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I don't have any specific kits that I know I'm definitely going to start, other than the ones that I've said I'm going to do, which is we've got the little Matchbox Renault diorama coming up next after the Beaufort, and then the Tempo, which I'm looking forward to. After that,
one good.
Yeah, the little hospital version.
Right.
One
I remember now. Yeah, the ambulance version or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's an ambulance or medical supplies or what, but we're going to do that. And I noticed that Mini are got some more Tempos coming out in 2024, which will be cool.
More trucks and various things. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty easy to build. You know, it's kind of a unibody kind of thing, so they don't really have a frame or anything under them.
Well, I saw some pictures of one being restored, and it basically, after the engine frame and the front wheel, it's pretty much all wood, isn't it? After that,
a lot of it is, yeah.
So I think I am caught up. So let us know in the chat what you think you're going to be aiming to build next year, which could end up on the showcase. That would be good.
Mm-hmm.
So, so what are you guys working on right now? So, Jeff, I know you've got a bulldozer on the go. What else have you got on the go?
I've got the Scamel.
Yeah.
Transporter with the trailer, and I've got the bulldozer, and I've also got a Bedford truck, all in the works. So I just kind of alternate between them.
So spin your chair around and go to a different desk, and
pretty much, yeah. I could reach all of them, just. I've got most of my, the tools that I use regularly. I've got them on a little caddy thing here, and so I just pick it up and take it to the other bench. It works out real good, and then all the tools that I don't use regular are in drawers.
Okay,
it works real good.
James, what are you working on at the minute?
Well, surprising 148 Italeri truck.
Yeah,
which is all finished by the weathering, and the Tamiya Mitsubishi, the Raiden, the fighter, 50-year-old kit that I brought. So I've got to finish that off. So everything's painted, all the parts are painted for it. So I've got to build it basically, and weather the hell out of it. And
then what's after that? The new plane?
Possibly a ship.
A ship. Okay.
So I've got a 1/350th scale Fletcher class destroyer.
Oh, cool.
The Tamiya
one, which I've got a masking set for, and I've got photo etch for.
Cool.
So you're all set.
Yeah. So I might well start that.
Yeah, that's supposed to go together quite nicely. I've not built it myself, but it's supposed to go together quite nicely. Very nice. Very nice. So that would warm you up for your big ship later in the year if that's what you ended up doing.
Yeah.
I've got you. Cool. So let's see what we got in the chat. So Captain Charlemagne, one kit plan to start in 2024 is the Mini Malmonite. Right, so that's a wooden ship. Alexander Nevsky been looking over instructions a lot. I was really looking forward to eventually starting. I don't know that kit particularly well. I've seen pictures of it, and that brand can be a bit tricky around the instructions. So I wish you lots of luck with that, Captain. I'd be interested. I guess you'll build it on your channel, in which case I'll be looking forward to it. What's that one? MAK kits for sci-fi. I've never heard of them. They're great builds and great for experimenting with weathering. Okay, cool. What scales do they do? Are they like resin kits or?
I've seen those. Yeah.
You have, right. So are they resin then, Jeff?
I think they are. There's some really strange looking stuff, like robots and that type of thing. Sci-fi. Yeah. I've seen a few of them online. I haven't had one in my hands, but really, really great for painting up, if you want to make kind of a unique paint job on them.
Cool. But James, now I said something on one of your videos this week and didn't follow through the comments. So your Opal Blitz that you're building in 148, I know Italeri did in 135, did the half-track version.
Yeah, the KFZ 3, wasn't it? I can't remember what the name is.
Called a Morliter or Mantler or something.
Yeah.
It won't be called that at all, but it's something like that. It's very, very cool, and it looks very different in a half track. I don't know whether they do it in 148, I guess.
No, they don't do it in 148 yet.
But yeah, that would be cool. Be interested to see if maybe you could take something else and convert it. I'm guessing there were standard tracks or something else.
I know that ICM just released a half-track truck.
Right.
I'm not sure whether that's the Blitz or not, Opal Blitz or not, because if it's the ICM kit, it'd be a lot of parts.
Yeah. So, John Marley, nice to see you, John. I hadn't spotted you creep into the chat. Good evening. Working on the 148 HK Lancaster. So I've seen some pictures of that on Facebook, I think. It's gone back in the box awaiting Outlaw paints. Yeah, I can't use Outlaw paints, too whiffy for the kitchen. So Hobby 2000 172 Hurricane sees the daylight. Well, that'll be nice. Is it a nice kit? Because I've reviewed a Hobby 2000 kit recently and was not enamored. Okay.
Well, ScaleMates is your friend with Hobby 2000 anyway, so.
You what, sorry?
ScaleMates is your friend with Hobby 2000 kits.
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
Find out where they're from.
Yeah, now, when I bought it, I knew nothing about them, so I just went off what I could see on the cover of the box. I now know that it's a Reeboks, but I've got a first impression early in January of it, so I won't say too much here. So I was a bit disappointed because I thought it was a kit that they'd tooled. But so yeah, I'm guessing they must make their own stuff as well. They don't just do Reeboxes.
It's decals and mask sets they make. So they're basically going down the route of Edard.
Right.
Edard started.
Yeah.
They used to Reeboks other people's kits and do decal schemes and whatever else and photo etch and mask sets and all that lot.
Right. So taking someone else's kit and adding to it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. We've got a comment here from Richard. Viper GTS and a 69 Dodge. Now, talking about Vipers, one thing I would like to do, one thing that's on my bucket list is a Battlestar Galactica Viper. I think that would be quite cool to do.
New or old style Viper?
I like the old style. Yeah. I'm just, it's like the motorbikes. The older ones are better.
Yeah, I'll put a link up in the private chat for the Bruff Superior. You'll need a mortgage. You'll need a mortgage for the kit.
Okay. Fair enough. I will check that out later. Thank you. That's a nice comment. Thank you, Peter. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So if any of you missed it, then last night we did a live stream with Stephen Payne, who was on the Queen Mary 2 in the North Atlantic. So we got to see a bit of the ship, and we did a Q&A. So if you're interested in the Queen Mary 2 or ocean liners, it's an interesting little video. It's only on for about an hour. So videos already on my channel. Okay, there you go. Go and check
all of them. They're very good.
Okay, cool. I haven't as yet, but I will do. And we've got Captain Course. One of the ships I plan to build next year is the USS. Right, okay. So there's a couple more American heavy cruisers coming out next year from Trumpeter as well, which will be interesting.
Your granddad didn't like them though, because they were all welded together.
Yeah, made them look ugly in his view.
The thing was though that they could get their bow blown off, and they still make it back to port.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because he started on the war on a British A-class destroyer. So he did up until middle of early 43 on that, and then he went over to Boston and picked up a Lend-Lease American Corvette, and he spent the rest of the war on that. It was called HMS Kilcrannan, and he hated that ship. He said it had a massive mess, and it said all the Americans do is eat. By the looks of it, they have this huge mess and nowhere to put anything else. So he wasn't a fan of the ship, but that ship is still running today. It's a passenger liner in Finland currently. So it's got converted after the war, used in Norway, and it's still running. So I think pretty much it's only the hull that's original now.
Yeah.
It's like you say, James, it's still going, and that was welded. So
there
you go. So that's an interesting comment. I had not heard that.
Yeah, they're doing it from Star Trek Picard.
Right. Oh, okay.
If you haven't seen Star Trek Picard, sorry, I've spoiled it for you. But
so that's from Picard, the series Picard, yeah.
Series Picard, yeah.
Yeah, which I like. It's a great series.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Of course, I've got an Enterprise, the original series one, to build at some point. The Revel one with lights and sound.
Which I think is a Polar Lights version.
Quite possibly, you know. Revel's another company, you never know where it came from.
No.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I think there's a fair number of their kits Hasegawa reboxes from reading around. What have we got? Okay, we've got a difference of opinion there, Gary. It's okay for you to be wrong, Gary. It's not a problem. But the first one's definitely better. No, and they're both nice looking, but I just prefer the first one.
Yeah, we don't want the Galactica 80 versions. They're two-seaters.
I see. And they look too smooth and, you know, I don't know. Good evening, Charles. Nice to see you. And we've got Michael. Hi, Michael. What's this? Has your cabinet work area got too small yet? No. No, it's not too small. We just overhang the edges. That's fine. We can do that. The problem is when I'm modeling on something big like the Scharnhorst and it's overhanging, and then someone comes in the kitchen and they want to go past that there, which gets into the pantry, then there's the risk that they might knock it, which has happened once or twice. In fact, at one point the door got swung open into the Queen Mary 2, which was the air was blue for a moment or two when that happened. So yeah, there is some pitfalls for working in the kitchen, but in the main, it works out really well.
You ought to try and figure out a way to lock it open, so that it won't freely.
Yeah, I usually the door's shut as it is now because they've got something on the telly or whatever, or I'll tend to have the computer running and either YouTube or a film or something going. So it's separating those sounds, and then I can switch. I can switch the iPad on at any time I like and just record. But I'm sort of there's always one ear listening out for someone coming down the stairs or what have you. It's interesting, but it's far better than when I worked in the attic. The light's better and the temperature's better. So definitely much better. Okay.
That's something I've noticed since we just had our house insulated. There was no insulation in the walls or anything, and the house is so much quieter. You don't hear nearly as many outside noises and things, and people in other rooms. It's just more muffled. It's a lot quieter.
Right. Yeah. You don't think about it, but it deadens the sound as well, doesn't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what have you two got planned on your channels as we come up to the next week or so over Christmas? What should people be looking out for?
Well, I've told everybody I'm going to take a little break.
Okay.
Got a lot going on with the family and things, so I'll probably take a week or so and not really put any videos out. I might work on something, just if I've got some free time, but not really going to try and do any videos until after Christmas.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And I've tried to do videos up front so that we run through Christmas and I don't have to do anything.
Right.
Almost gone to plan. I've got just one left to edit, and then I can put my feet up. What about you, James? Any particular plans for videos over the next week or two?
Well, I don't make plans for me videos anyway.
Right.
As I feel like doing a video. I've got the part 2 of the Atelieri video. It's up in YouTube. It's uploaded to YouTube now, so that'll probably be premiered tomorrow evening at some point. And then I'll get part 3 video tomorrow and I'll weather it.
Yeah.
And then that'll be it, and then possibly a Raiden video.
Cool.
Be a short one because I didn't film any of that.
So you'll just do a final reveal, do you think?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've been doing one of my builds off camera. It's a group build, and once a week I just kind of show where I'm at with it. So I can swing over there and just do something when I feel like it. Nothing scheduled or anything.
Because it's a big problem with me having had sort of like strokes. It's getting my mojo. I get tired from doing it. So obviously, if I get frustrated with the build, move on to something else and do that, or just get out, walk out, lock the workshop door, and come up the garden and watch YouTube. Job done.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And have you found that building the 148 stuff has helped with that because you can get them completed?
Well, I can get them completed, but I still drop parts.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
This hand's virtually, the left hand's virtually used. I've got no feeling in it.
Right. Okay. So I have no feeling in that thumb. I stabbed it at the modelling bench. So it was Christmas Eve about 3 years ago, and a wasp suddenly dropped down in front of me, and it made me jump. So what a wasp was doing on Christmas Eve in the attic, so I don't know. And I stabbed myself in the finger and cut all the tendons. So I have no feeling in that. So, and it's a really strange sensation to have something that has no feeling in. So I completely get you, James. It's really difficult to understand what's going on when it's in contact with my thumb. So for a whole hand, that must be hard work. But
yeah. Well, it was both hands to begin with.
Right. So you've got it back in one.
Yeah. But
so do you expect to get it back in the other then at some point?
I think I've got it as best I can. I've got as much strength in. I've virtually got the grip when I walk the dog.
Yeah.
But I've had to adapt. I've had to get a special lead so I can control him because he's very strong.
Oh, I bet. He could probably pull you over if he tried, huh?
I've gone over it twice while walking him.
Wow.
But that's obviously my left. I can't feel my left leg below the knee, so it means that everywhere I have to go on the bus or walk, which is fun at the moment. And tends to be a bit frustrating.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure of it. Yeah. Right, let's have a look, see what's happening in the chat. So I'm expecting mine to be delivered tomorrow, James. So that should be interesting. I know Peter Oxley's done I think he's done a box review. I've not watched it particularly, but I'm aware of it. I caught a small moment of it. But I tend not to watch them when I know I've got a kit coming because I want to review it and take my own opinions and not something that I've picked up from someone else.
Right.
And it's actually quite good fun afterwards to go and watch the other videos and see if they missed something I spotted and what I missed that they spotted. But if it's anything like the 109 that they brought out, that was a lovely kit. So I imagine this will be the same.
Well, all the Tsukimori kits are lovely. So
yeah, they seem to have dropped doing the clear parts. They used to do quite like clear panels and things,
right?
And they've dropped doing that now. And there was. I like the idea of them, but you always get the ejector pin marks in them, and you just can't get them out.
I think the people who don't like them are the people who like to do them wheels up.
Right. Okay.
They're virtually impossible to do with the wheels up.
Right.
And that's why they're not liked by them, but they're beautiful kits.
Yeah. This will be when the 190 arrives. That'll be my third Tsukimura kit. All of them 132, but I quite fancy picking up a couple of their. They do a Horton in 148, I think. Quite fancy that.
I had a Horton in 148.
Yeah.
It's a big box.
Well, they're just as detailed as the 132s by the look of them.
Yeah.
So cool.
Got all the internal framework and everything, doesn't it? The wings.
In the wings and bits, yeah. Great if you want to do some cutouts, but if not, most of the time you don't see most of it.
Right.
But it's just the experience of building it, though. If you like building, it's a builder's model, I think. Yeah. So, who else have we got?
I think 411 maintainer had to go.
Okay. See you, mate. And we've got Carlscale Modeling in. Hello to you.
Hi, Michelle. That's his wife. They work in the same.
Oh, okay.
Modeling room.
Okay. Both modelers, or?
So I think she does. She tends to do diamond dot.
Right. Okay.
Which is very much like the similar sort of idea to cross stitch.
Right.
So.
But they share a craft room. Cool.
Yeah. That's good.
So got HMS York. I'm guessing that's the Trumpeter one. Can't think of another brand. I've not built the York, but I bought a sister ship, and I forget what it was. And there's an issue with the pipe work around the funnels. You have to rework it because it's not correct, as I recall. But I've not built the York, so it might be right on the York. Oh God, I forget what the ship was. Yeah, so check your references when you're building that one, buddy. Right, what are we on? 10 o'clock. So we've been running for just over an hour. Mm-hmm. Anything else that you'd like to share or talk about at this point, or are we done?
31 watching. That's good. Yeah. Very good. Don't forget the thumbs up, guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So if you don't subscribe to James or Jeff, please go over and have a look. They're both putting out videos fairly regularly, which is nice. There's a steady flow of content. Jeff pretty much gets something out every day. It's a struggle.
Lately, yeah.
It's a struggle to keep up with you at times, mate.
I understand.
but yeah. So please do go and check them out. They're always in my chat on a Friday night. It's usually a build, as you know, and they're always in the chat, so you can always catch up with them. So yeah, please do go over and subscribe. It's free. It costs you nothing and helps them out massively. So guys, thank you very much for tonight. It's been nice to see you online and have a chat, and hope you have a great holiday season. And I will be seeing you guys very soon. I think the next time that we'll all be together will be for the Scharnhorst build.
Sounds good.
So that should be fun.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And tomorrow I've got my table talk out, which is the last one of 2023. And I've got some interesting stuff to talk about and tell you about what's happening over the next couple of weeks. So I think that's it. I think we'll wrap that up. Yeah. If that's okay, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Happy Christmas, everyone. And I'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks for inviting me.
All will be revealed.
Okay.
Thanks for the invitation, Jason.
Yeah.
You're most welcome. We'll do this.
Very good to see you, James.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will see you on Sunday. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Okay. See you guys. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Have a great Christmas. And I'll see you tomorrow on Table Talk. Bye for now.